Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I will be rating the 2025 schleich models / sets. So I'm only going to be rating the ones that I could potentially get, but not the ones I'm definitely not getting. Starting off with this one, I think it looks super good. It honestly doesn't even look like schleich, not gonna lie. I love the mane, I love the position, I love the shading, the colors, the dapples, the tail. Like, I just love this so much. This year is definitely a huge glow up for schleich. Honestly, I don't really have any complaints about it, so 10 out of 10. I really want to get this one, and I really hope it looks as good in real life as it does in the picture. Next is the Andalusian Stallion, and I really love this one too. I love the dapples, I love the shading, the blending, the mane, I love how crazy it is, the tail, the position, like just everything about this I really love. 10 out of 10 for sure. I really hope these horses look as good in real life as they do in these pictures. Next we've got this one. I'm not really sure how to pronounce that breed, but the mold itself looks really good. I really love it, but the paint looks very weird, very unrealistic, and just I am really not a fan, and it seems like it lacks shading in certain areas. Like, you can tell it has some shading in some areas, but it lacks it in some others. So I really hope it's better in real life than it is in the pictures, but I have my doubts. With that being said, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. It may seem high for considering the fact that I have multiple complaints about it, but I don't know, I still just really love the mold, and that just brings my rating really up high. And yeah, I really love the mold, and I still really want to get it. Next we've got this one, and again, I don't know how to pronounce that breed, but she looks, I don't know, decent. Her painting job, not really a painting job, it's just a shading. It doesn't really look like she has any shading, but that could just be like the picture, because all of these are just judged by the pictures, because I don't really know what they look like in real life. So this is the best thing to get. But as far as I can tell, she doesn't have any shading, and if she does, then it's very small. It's just very little, very light, not in enough places. And I really hope that it looks better in real life, but it probably won't. So yeah, I'm gonna give her a 7 out of 10. She's also just not my favorite. I mean, she's fine. Besides the no shading part, she's fine, but she's just not my very favorite, you know? Next we've got this one. I think it is super cute. I love the mold. The little tail is super cute, the ears, the legs, I really love it. But the paint job, I'm not a fan. It looks really bad, and it looks like just not realistic, and it looks like they didn't put that much effort into it, and I'm really just not a fan of the painting job. And it looks like it's lacking some shading in some areas. I can't really see any on the legs except a tiny bit. I like one of the legs, and I can't really see any on the face, or maybe there's a little bit, I can't really tell, but especially the legs, I think. But besides the painting job, including the shading, when I say painting job, I think it looks really good. The mold itself is just super cute, and I really want to get it. 8 out of 10. The mold is just so good. Maybe even 9 out of 10, because I love the mold that much. Next we've got the paint horse gelding, and immediate 10 out of 10. The only problem I have with him is that he has no shading, but it's not the biggest deal to me, because on black models it's not very noticeable, except it's more noticeable on the white parts, but there's not very many white parts. Mostly it's just on the face that's very noticeable, but it's not that big of a deal to me, because it's just the face. It's actually pretty noticeable. And yeah, but I would definitely like it more if he had shading, but I still love him so much. The painting job, it looks great. I really hope it's going to be that good in real life, and the mold is really good, and I love horses with blue eyes. They're so gorgeous. So definitely 10 out of 10. I really want to get him. Next is the paint horse mare, and she looks really good. I like the mold, and I like the mane, the tail, the position, the paint job. I think they did a good job with this one. My only complaint is that she doesn't have any shading, it doesn't seem. And if she does, it's very light and little shading. And she definitely needs some / more. And I really hope it's better in person, but it's probably not. So I'm going to give her a 8 out of 10. Next is the paint horse foal, and this honestly is giving retired Schleich vibes. Like, I don't know, the quality, I don't know, really, like, I think it's a quality, but it's just giving me retired Schleich horse vibes. And I think it looks really good. My only complaint is lack of shading. I don't know if it has any shading at all, but it definitely needs more if it does. But if it doesn't, then it needs at least some. But yeah, I think it's really cute and realistic other than that. So I'm going to give a 9 out of 10 because it's still really good in my opinion. Next, we've got the 90-year special. And it looks very lazy and very stupid. For a 90-year special, they should have made a completely new model for it, not use an old one and just paint the dapples rainbow. But at least make the mane and tail rainbow too or something, because it just looks so random and weird and stupid and lazy. It's so bad. I really hate this. The mold, it's fine, like, it's not my favorite, but it's not the worst. But I'm not really going to be like talking about the like mold itself because that's not going to be released in 2025. It's already been released. But with the rainbow dapples, it looks just so stupid. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10. Next, we've got this goat, and I've been meaning to get more goats for a long time. I only have one, and it's just a baby. I really want to get more goats, and I've been meaning to for a long time, and I really want to get this goat because it looks so good. It looks very realistic, and I love the colors. The shading on the head looks good, but other than that, it looks like it needs more shading. And yeah, other than the lack of shading in most areas, I think it looks really good, and I am super excited for it to come out, and I really hope I can get this. So I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Next is this baby goat, and I honestly have the exact same thing to say other than it's even cuter, and I just love the position so much. I'm obsessed with baby goats. I love the coloring. The shading on the head looks fine as far as I can tell, but it seems to lack shading in other areas, although it doesn't bother me as much on this one because it's smaller, so it's not really as noticeable, and it's also a bit darker, which also makes it a bit less noticeable. So I'm going to also give this a 9 out of 10, closer to 10 than the other though. Next is the silk chicken, and honestly, I don't really care that much about it, but I might get it because I just really want more chickens. The only reason why I'm not the biggest fan is because I'm not really the biggest fan of this type of chicken. It has nothing to do with how Schleich made it. It's just the type of chicken that I'm not the biggest fan of. Like, I don't necessarily hate this type of chicken. I'm just not the biggest fan of it. So I don't really care very much for it. However, there's still a possibility that I will get it at some point. How Schleich did it, it looks pretty good, pretty realistic, but I mean, I guess it could be better, so I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 because I just don't really care for it all that much. Next is the Plymouth Rock chicken, or however you say that. There are two things that I really hate about this, especially the last one. So reason one, the eyes are way too big. It's really unrealistic. And two, the feet are way too big. They are way too fat. Chicken feet, they are not that big. And I get that they did it so it didn't have to have a stand, but you should, I'd rather have it where it has a stand instead of making it completely unrealistic. I really don't understand what was so hard about just giving it a stand instead of making its feet super unrealistic. And it honestly just makes this hard to look at for me. It's that bad to me. I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10 because other than those two things, I think it looks fine. I've never gotten a schleich llama before, but I feel like getting one in the future, and this one looks really good in my opinion. Straight up just 10 out of 10. I don't see anything wrong with it. I like the colors. I like the shading is very good. The blending is good. The mold itself is good. I really don't see anything wrong with this. I have no complaints at all, so 10 out of 10. Next is this collie, and I think it's pretty good. I'm probably gonna get it, but there is something a bit off about it, and I'm not really sure what it is. It kind of has this like fake-ish look, and I don't really like that. And I don't even know what it is. I can't really put my finger on it, and it seems like it lacks shading in certain areas. I don't know. It's just something that I don't really like very much about it. But overall, I think it looks pretty good, so I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10. Next is this mule, and I'm not really into mules. However, this is so good, I might get it. This doesn't even look like schleich. It is so good. The mold itself is realistic. The paint job is realistic. The shading, like, it is literally so good. It does not look like schleich. I've got to give this a 10 out of 10. No complaints at all. This is literally so good. Next is Trip to the Lake with Hannah. So I'm not going to be rating most of these types of little sets because with most of them they're mainly just accessories with animals that have already been released before. But I am going to be rating this one because there is a new dog in it, a pug, and I honestly never really imagined there being a schleich pug, but I'm glad that there is going to be, and I really want to get this because I really want a schleich pug. Also, I'm not going to be rating the people in any of these, like with any of these things that I'm rating. If people are included, I'm not going to be including those because I don't really care if the newer people at all. And some of these are like not new even, like some of these people aren't even new, so I'm just gonna not even bother rating them and including them in my rating. So yeah, but like overall this little set is pretty good, so I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. Next is this set, Pony Box with Mustang Mare. I am so glad they are bringing the Mustang Mare back. I have her, but only the exclusive version, not this version. And I've been wanting this version for a long time, so I really hope I can get this. But the stall, I'm not the biggest fan of these stalls. I mean, I like them fine and I want them. However, they're not the best because they look very cheap and just not near, they don't nearly reach as high quality as their animals are. So yeah, it really just does not match the quality and realism. So I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10 because I just love this model so much. Next is this set, and I am really not a fan at all. I hate the color theme they have been going for lately. Like, it's just really ugly and kind of, I don't know, just stupid in my opinion. And it looks like it was designed by a 5-year-old with like the colors and stuff. I just really am not a fan at all. If I get this, I'll honestly be tempted to paint it. And if I do get this, then it'll mainly probably be for the horse. I'm gonna give this a 6 out of 10 because I like the horse that comes with it a lot. Next is this rabbit hutch, and I really like it. It's just normal rabbit hutch, but I really like the new rabbit that comes with it. I really want to get it. I really like rabbits, so I want to get more of them. I have like a ton of babies, but I want to get more older ones. And I just really like this, so I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10. I don't really have any complaints about it. Schleich is getting seriously lazy, like literally so lazy. They have already released this exact same set twice already, and this is the 3rd time. Twice before this, and they did it again. They just added different horses and people. Like, I don't really get the point. Like, are they really that lazy? Like, I might get this because I don't have that set yet, and I really like it and want it, but why can't they just keep the old versions? Why do they have to keep just releasing it over and over again, just with different horses and different people? Like, I don't really see the point. So next is Hannah and Cyan. I think you say it like Cyan. And as I said earlier, I will not be including the people in this. So I'm just gonna like pretend Hannah isn't even there. And I'm also not gonna be rating the tack because that's just kind of boring. However, I will say real quick that the reins look absolutely horrible. They are way too loose. Like, what's the point? Why are they that loose? And the angle that the picture was taken in is absolute trash. It's just really a really bad angle for the picture to be in, so it's kind of hard to like tell what the face even looks like very well, like because I kind of need more of a side view than that. But I mean, he looks fine, so I guess I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Next is Lisa and Storm, and oh my goodness, Storm looks amazing. I hope that it's not just the angle that makes him look this good. I hope he really does look this good. But he looks just amazing. I am so obsessed with it. I love it so much. I'm literally just so obsessed. I need this. I have to get this. 10 out of 10. Next is Sarah and Mystery, and I'm just genuinely confused at this point. Why are the angles of the pictures so bad? Like, the angling is just terrible. You don't have the face of a horse just like completely facing you like that, where you can't even see the side view at all of the face. Like, you don't do that with a picture. I can't really tell what she looks like very well, but I mean, she looks fine. Not my favorite, but definitely not my least favorite. She's fine. I guess 9 out of 10. I don't know. Next is Sophia and Blossom, and I'm just gonna be real. Blossom honestly looks deformed. I don't know if it's just the angle, because like the angle is also just absolute trash, or if it's like the bridle making her face look weird somehow, or like if it's both, or if it's neither, if her face just really looks like that, or the picture just somehow made it look weird. I don't know. Whatever it is, her face looks very weird. Like, her head is like, I don't know what it is. I can't even put my finger on it, but there's something very weird going on with her head, and I don't even know what it is. Like, I cannot put my finger on it. And she seems to lack shading in some areas. Like, she has a little bit of shading as far as I can tell, but she could definitely use some more. And I'm just not the biggest fan. I'm gonna give her a 6, maybe 7 out of 10, because she's not the worst, but it's mainly just her head. But I don't even know if it really looks like that, or if it just looks like that for the reasons I've already listed. Next is the Mobile Vet, and I'm really not a fan. Also, just want to say real quick, I'm not including the horse in this rating because it's not being released in 2025. It's already been released before. I really just hate the color choices for it. Like, if it was red, it would be so much better. And it honestly just looks so babyish, and it looks like it's made for a 5-year-old. And while Schleich is aimed for littler kids, it still knows, like, they still know about the older Schleich community, and they know that a majority of their buyers are older people, and that, like, and the entire point of them, like, they are literally a realistic model brand. They're supposed to be realistic, not some cheap looking toys for little 5-year-olds. I'm gonna rate this a 4, possibly 5 out of 10. Next, we've got this polar wolf, and I'm honestly not the biggest fan. The legs look a bit weird. They look too small compared to the body, or maybe it's just a floof. I don't even know, but there's definitely something off, and I think it's like the legs. The eyes also look pretty weird. They just do not look realistic, so I'm really not a fan. I'm gonna give this a 5 out of 10 because it's still not the worst. Or maybe 4 out of 10. I don't know. It's kind of hard. And lastly is this Arctic Wolf Cub. So overall, I really like it, and I don't have any complaints except for this one thing, and it's that its head is too small. But I mean, at least it looks cute. And some animals really are like that. Like, their heads look too tiny for their bodies, but I just feel like it would have looked a lot better if it was just a bit bigger. But other than that, I think it's good, so I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos.